Break the chains. Earlier this month, I finished Morning Star, the third book in the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown, and out of the three, I feel like Morning Star does not get enough credit. Everybody focuses on Golden Sun when it comes to the original Red Rising trilogy. But in my opinion, I think Morning Star overall is the better novel. I think out of the first three, it has the most going for it. And I know that might not be a popular opinion because I always feel like Morning Star kind of gets put somewhere in the middle of the rankings, but I just don't think that's true. I think Morning Star, for me, has the best moments out of the first three books. Red Rising is a very good entry. Golden Sun is a great sequel, but Morning Star, I feel like, was Pierce Brown really coming into his own as a writer. And I know that's the credit that Golden Sun always gets, but like I really feel like this entry in particular is very, very good. And let me explain, but first I must point out the absolutely one thing that holds this novel back from being better, and that is the fake out death. If you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm not going to explain it, but like there's a fake out death in this, and I'm going to be honest, it's a dumb decision. It's a very dumb decision by Pierce Brown to do. I just don't think that the way he writes it is convincing at all. And a lot of people will be like, well, you know, Darrow's just not a reliable character. That might be true, even though I don't think that there's anything in the text that actually suggests he's a reliable or unreliable narrator. I think you're supposed to believe what he says because his information is then backed by other people later in the series. So I think he's technically supposed to be a reliable narrator. But even an unreliable narrator, to like have their internal monologue be about how upset they are about a fake out death is stupid to me. Like, Sun Eater has an unreliable narrator, but Hadrian isn't lying to you. He's omitting the truth, which is two different things. He's not informing you about everything that's going to happen because in his universe, somebody might read it and make certain connections and say one thing and hunt his people, etc., etc. Whereas Darrow, even if it were not first person present tense, which it is, like, he, as far as I know, has no reason to make up this scene where he's writing it, let's say, post-mortem or whatever at the end of the series and he's won, and for this scene to be included. Like, I think it's an incredibly stupid scene. I think there's just a much better way to have written this scene, and it's really the only thing that I don't like about this book. Everything else, though, I think is much better. I think the emotional weight in this book is much, much better than Golden Sun. I feel like this is like the emotional core of the story. There are so many moments in this book that are just emotionally heavy. But I also think up to this point, it's Pierce Brown's best writing. Like line for line, bar for bar, there are so many sequences in this that are just brilliantly told. Just like, I don't know, there's a lot of great character moments. There's a lot of humanizing for the side cast. There's a lot of just great moments for the main character and his companions. I think the antagonist in this is very well written. I like that Darrow's building himself back up after the events of Golden Sun, and he's changing and he's maturing and he's realizing he needs to rely on other people. And I feel like that message is really, really good. That revolution doesn't just happen with one man or one woman or even one group of people. It is a group effort. If we ever want to change anything in our world to make it better, you have to put in the work and you have to rely on other people. Sorry for the online revolutionaries that think they can get it done by themselves. That's just not realistic. Change takes time and it takes group effort, and you've got to convince people that your way is better. That's just the reality, and I think Morning Star shows that excellently. I think the themes here are really good. This internal battle between who am I? Am I a gold? Am I a red? Who is Darrow? Is really, really poignant. Because Darrow isn't just one kind of man. He's all of these things to different people, and he's got to figure out what he is actually, what he means, what his symbol is, all those things. The action scenes are, I think, the best up to this point in the series. Everybody talks about, you know, the Iron Rain and Golden Sun. I think the Iron Rain in Morning Star is better, for my money. I think it's more emotionally impactful. I think there's a lot of sequences in this that are just like fist pump, like, you know, that was great. And just, I think this entry overall is just better in every conceivable way than Golden Sun, to be honest. If it did not have that one sequence, I would say that this is not nearly a flawless book, but it would be a very good entry, in my opinion. Like a really great entry into Red Rising. I like everything about it. The world building here is great. I think the character work, the dialogue, the action sequences, I just think they're all better here. I think there's more emotional weight here. I feel like there's a responsibility on Darrow that he finally kind of truly takes on. I love the character interactions between the Reds and the Golds, and how his society starts to form. I think that's really good. And I also really like kind of how this book leaves off, that the epilogue of the fact that just because you win doesn't mean the battle's over. Just because you've won the war doesn't mean that there isn't going to be reconstruction. And I think that's also very poignant, because people often think, oh, well, if I overthrow the government, everything's going to be better. No, you gotta rebuild it. You gotta fix things. You gotta show that your way's better. And I really, really like this book. I really like this entry. So I'm going to give it like a 9.2 out of 10. I declare it the best of the first 3 books.